You're listening to the Blacktop Banter podcast, the premier podcast in the asphalt industry, made for contractors with contractors.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Blacktop Banter. And if you're listening, you're not going to see what I'm going to say you're about to see. But if you're watching, you'll notice that the background has changed a little bit. Chris has some lighting set up in here, and I hung this picture, which I now see is off-kiltered. So for anybody who has OCD and is watching, I'm really sorry about that. And it's off-centered, so enjoy. In the meantime, the reason it looks different is because we moved the podcast studio over to Wiscote. For me, it was just easier logistically, and we had kind of outgrown that space somewhat anyways. I realized that we really didn't need it as much as we needed it, so for us to get more efficient and whatnot, we brought it over here to Wiscote. And it just makes it easier for me to record when I want to record. Sometimes I get a wild hair. This is a solo podcast, which you guys haven't heard from since the early days of Blacktop Banter. So it's interesting. As I'm recording this, it's the week before Thanksgiving. A lot has happened over this year. I haven't actually physically recorded a Blacktop Banter podcast since maybe early May. We did that. We batched them all over the winter months, knowing that I was going to have a busy year at Wiscote in Dubuque Asphalt Maintenance. So it made sense for us to batch a lot of them with our guests and whatnot over that amount of time, so that it gave me enough time to not have to worry about the logistics of getting back to the Blacktop Banter office or anything like that. So it's the first one in a long time. I think for me, it's kind of a full circle moment. Actually, 2024 was a wild year. If you're involved with me personally, you kind of know that. Obviously, my life as well is at the forefront in social media, so more than likely you've been following along as well. So we've had a lot of changes, done a lot of things, had to kind of figure out, I keep repeating logistics, but had to figure out logistics with life and everything that life deals you. And this is where we've landed. So, if I get a lot of questions from my friends or from peers that text me from time to time asking how the year was at Wiscote and whatnot, which is common between business owners in our industry, it was fine. We did just as good as we always do, even though we navigated quite a bit of personnel changes or the logistics of me going back and forth between Nashville and Wisconsin. It worked out well. So it did really well. Our team did really well. Kyla, who's here, went from an admin role to more of a GM role. She has shadowed me now for a couple of years. She was able to do that just well. Our new crew lead did just fine. Sammy, as always, was productive. Eli, of course, was with us and was productive. We brought in a couple people from time to time as well over the summer months. So it went really well. Dubuque was down a little bit. Wiscote was up a little bit, which was kind of counter to what it had been in previous years. So I'm going to chalk that up to an election year and maybe more of the commercial side, which is what we mainly do in Dubuque area, being slower as people were waiting to see what would happen. The crappy part about that is the election happens early November. Early November, where we are, means that you're done seal coating anyways. So when it came to seal coating and that type of stuff, a lot of times it's out of the business owners' minds, no matter which way the election goes. So we're looking forward to hopefully doing a normal ratio in Dubuque and Wisconsin in Wiscote next year. Yeah, that's what's been going on. So, it's been different for me to kind of take a back seat. Chris took over the operations and production side here at Blacktop Banter over the summer months for the most part. I'm sure you guys seen some of our jobber videos. I did a lot of those at the forefront. Any of the freestyle stuff you've seen with me in it, I did. We just did a video at Dirt World Summit, which I'm sure if you follow me on social, on LinkedIn or wherever you've seen that we were there. I did one with Jamie from Dynapac and him on a simulator. It was a great video. It was a fun video. Yeah, so, that's kind of the way things went. As we are closing out here in the year, we have some podcasts that we need to do with some great partners. But I really wanted to kind of talk about what I've been able to see as I have been able to take some time off from worrying about deliverables, production, content themes, marketing strategies, all that stuff. I've been able to kind of, in a weird way, observe the asphalt maintenance industry, asphalt industry, the people that are in the forefront of the social media side of that. I've been able to observe, and maybe I wouldn't have been able to do that because I was in the mix for the most part before, always in the mix, always talking about what we can do, how we can help, how we can build each other up, how I can use what we do here to help elevate, whether it's a show or whether it's another creator or whoever. those were my thoughts most of the time. This year, I dialed back, went through some big life changes, needed to focus on the businesses first and foremost, the people close to me that I love and care about. And we kind of found a new foundation, a new ground. And in that process, I was able to witness our industry in a way that I hadn't in a while. And what I found is I don't think that I ever realized what we have grown. When I first started posting videos to Wisco's YouTube channel about the asphalt industry or NPE, when we would go there, whatever, we were creating a community. And some of the people came to the forefront through the Facebook groups that we made, or whether they started making content on their own, or they reached out to me and we collaborated and did these things. Like I said, I always felt like I was in the mix. There was a presence with BB this summer and the majority of this year because of Chris. But personally, I wasn't at all the things. I wasn't doing all the things. But what I seen was something has been created within our industry, and it's a community that creates, thrives, builds, and takes care of its own, right? So what do I mean by that? Well, I had a pleasurable time checking out all the content that everybody creates from my friends, whether it's Kyle Lashone, whether it's Cam Roberts, whether it's Matt Stanley, whether it's Brandon Leone, Chris Welsh, the guys over at TPG, even the companies themselves are creating great content. Seal the Deal VA on TikTok. Love watching that guy's videos. Check him out. Michael's Paving on TikTok. So all of this has been created, and before, when I was in the mix, I didn't necessarily know if I was able to enjoy what we have created, this atmosphere, this entertainment, this community, this family that we've created. But I did get to now, and it really made me think about what I want to do for the future. It's no secret that I love our industry, and I've always wanted to be part of something and be in the mix with everybody when they're doing things, because it's just so exciting to me. Because when we first started, there was not a lot. There was a show that we went to, and an expo that we went to, and that was it, really. Beyond that, there wasn't much. Now, it seems like all this stuff happens, and then we go to the show, right? Or the multiple shows now. It's very cool. And I went to Equip Expo this year and was there with Jobber, and people knew about our content from the landscape and lawn care world. They asked me about people in our industry that create content that didn't have anything to do with me, which lets me know that there's a lot of, I don't want to say like bleed over or overspill, but that our content is getting outside of the asphalt industry now. I've seen that quite a bit at Dirt World Summit when, people knew me and what we were doing, obviously through the Dirt World connections, but then also there were people at Boost that create equipment, or the guys at 10 Star Simulators. Like, Marvin, we got to show you this paver. I never really knew those guys. Like, I've seen their stuff before, but they want to show me a paver simulator. And then you see that there's a lot of similarities in that, even though the Dirt World Summit may at the surface appear that it's for heavy civil and that type of stuff, there's still guys there that are paving parking lots, paving driveways. There was multiple seal coaters there. There was asphalt maintenance contractors there. Now, when we get to PaveX, we're going to see a lot of asphalt maintenance contractors, a lot of paving contractors, a lot of line striping contractors, and they're all creating content that gets bled over and becomes popular. There's viral videos now about what we do. Whether it's the guys putting the cold crack filler down, Potosini, I hope I say that right, on TikTok, and getting millions and millions of views. Those millions of views are obviously coming from not only inside our industry, but outside of our industry as well, as people start to see what we do and our industry starts to grow at large. So I think that that's encouraging. For us, it gives us more value in what we do. We always knew what we did was highly valuable, and we always had an appreciation for the guys that do amazing line striping jobs. See this photo here behind me? I did that one. I know, kind of crazy, right? But I wouldn't have known how to do that if I wouldn't have been influenced by the people that I know do it well, whether that's Charles Baker, Dustin Natinka, Cam, like I always say. I wanted to do that and show it because of what they do. So I think that we're in good hands when it comes to that. It's okay that I take a break. It's okay that whoever is out there wants to take a break and come back to it. It's okay if you want to pass it off, right? Eli creates a lot of content now with the line striping kid as his handle because he's seen other people do it. People follow him, they connect with him. The younger generation sees it. There was a young man wearing a Blacktop Banter t-shirt at Dirt World Summit, and it surprises you when you see that type of stuff because that's coming from somewhere else to there. So I know I'm rambling on and on about this, but I think it's validity for us, really, that the status of the asphalt and asphalt maintenance industry is well. We're doing well. A lot of times we wonder if what we're doing, why we're doing it with the content creation and putting stuff out, why are we doing this? Is it worth it? Does it have any impact? I'm here to tell you it does, and it is having an impact. Us who have taken the helm in that regard, or the people that support us, which you don't have to create content, just come up and tell me that it means a lot to you, you like my stuff. It really goes a long way. That'll go a long way for anybody who's doing that. Supporting each other and building what we're doing in community has a lot of value because there are guys Eli's age and younger and young girls now that are interested in it. Because of what we do, we're starting to make it look cool, look fun, that we have a culture here within the asphalt and asphalt maintenance industry that not only is now completely changed where it looks absolutely inviting, but also that it's cool and it's cool to be part of. They want to come to the shows. Some of my favorite things are to see the all-women panels or the women in asphalt part of it, and I'm seeing young girls want to learn how to seal coat. I just watched a reel today with Kelsey Wright from Proline of her pulling trucks up, stepping on tape as they're putting things out. I know that there's young girls that are going to be watching that want to do what Kelsey does, right? So I think to bring it all around and to talk about it at large, we should feel good. We should feel good and be proud of what we've done. I feel good and am proud of what we've accomplished at Blacktop Banter in a short amount of time since we've done it. We've done some cool things. We've shown what's possible. We've done awesome things with great friends, right? The Pavex last year was unbelievable. Dirt World Summit was unbelievable. Some of the content that we've been able to create with other collaborators, NASCAR stuff and whatnot, extreme sports, we can do that. Anything is possible. We just have to imagine it, take the steps forward and do it and support each other when we do it. It kind of gives me a thought, right? What do we do now? What do we do with this? And what does the future look like? When we first started doing social media and whatnot, I remember speaking in 2018 in Cleveland, and when I said this is going to be the normal thing, we're going to post to, I said Snapchat then, TikTok wasn't around yet. That dates me and makes me feel very old. But we have to do this to be in front of it and your business in front of it, and the ones that are in front of this are going to win. People looked at me like I was crazy, right? But now it's standard. And we are hiring people at our businesses to create video to put out on social media for us. It went from a thing that it seemed like we didn't really want to do and felt tedious to now we hire out positions for it, maybe multiple positions at our businesses to make sure that we're doing it really, really well because our businesses depend on it.
Hey, everybody. Thanks for listening to this podcast. My name is Chris Giese. I am the producer of the Blacktop Banter podcast and Marvin's right-hand man when it comes to all things content and podcast related. If you're a business owner or a contractor and you're thinking about creating content, or maybe you already are, using content to grow your influence and your business online, but you're feeling frustrated or overwhelmed with the process, or maybe you're just lost in general and don't know how to get started, I'm here to help. For a limited time, I'm offering free 30-minute consultation calls where we can take a look at your business. You can tell me about your goals. We can look at what your pain points are and give you some actionable insights that you can start using in your business right away. So if that's something that sounds like it might be of interest to you and could be helpful in your business and your journey toward content creation, I'm here to help. You can sign up for free on my website at chrisgiese.com. That's CHRISGIESE.com. I look forward to talking with you.
In my opinion, Dynapac CC900G roller is the best roller on the market for driveway and small parking lot paving contractors. The seismic technology in these rollers is unbeatable for the smoothness and compaction they provide. Take my word for it, or visit Dynapac.com to find a dealer near you. I work closely with KM International to design what I believe is the best seal coating unit on the market. The Blacktop Banter Edition seal coating unit, available in both 550 and 700 gallon versions. Learn more about the unit by visiting kminternational.com.
Quick startups, fume-free, automatic agitator shutoff, a splash-proof lid, and pumping on demand, these features are essential for any serious asphalt maintenance contractor. Elevate your game with the Crafco SuperShot line of melters by visiting crafco.com today.
Hi contractors, it's Kyla from Wiscoat. We use Stencil Plus for all of our pavement marking stencils. You can save 10% on your stencil order by using code BB10 during checkout at stencilplus.com or by calling 877-372-6055.
In the past year, Jobber has been our CRM of choice at Wiscoat, and it's made our world exponentially better efficiency-wise. For our small seal coating company, it has helped build the solid foundation we can scale from. Jobber is now a sponsor of Blacktop Banter and helps bring this show to you. With this partnership, Jobber is offering an exclusive savings to BB listeners of 20% off for 6 months. To take advantage of this, find the Jobber link in the show description and get to improving your process today. I have a feeling that with AI, with technology, that is going to be even more important going forward to get the type of people, to keep people wanting to work for us and with us and in our industry. I know Eli doesn't want to go back to a Kelly Cresswell with no lasers on it and he's got to lay everything out by hand. I know he doesn't want to do that, right? Especially if he has an opportunity to work somewhere else where there's lasers and auto layout and he doesn't have to worry about his machine. Who knows, by then might be robotic machines or whatever. They want to do that, right? So we just have to keep focusing on that stuff, keep advancing with all those things, and we're going to be just fine. The nice thing is we have resources like PaveX, Dirt World Summit, World of Asphalt, where the companies that want us to move in that direction and have those products and those opportunities are displaying for us to be there and be part of it and take that on. I think that that's important. I think it's important that we all work, we all collaborate together and go in that direction. So those are some observations that I've seen right from this year. The other big observation, and this has been from the outside and from working on it a little bit myself. You guys know we had Dr. Aaron Craw on some of the calls. I've talked with Vince at Ajax Paving quite a bit about mental health and whatnot in our industry. As much as the awesome things are increasing and making our industry cool and getting attention and whatnot, the mental health issue in our industry is also increasing. And it's something that there are some really good people creating very good culture and bringing a lot of attention to in a good way. Where before, I just had a good conversation with a good friend of mine when we were in Nashville and we were talking about this. You didn't talk about things. You didn't do that. You didn't show a chink in the armor because it made you seem less valuable, right? Or that you couldn't cut it. Where now, when we're talking about mental health at some of these expos and seminars, and like I said, Vince down at Ajax has shown a huge light on this. Companies like Dynapac have partnered with companies to shine a light on mental health in our industry, to where we realize like mental health issues are very, very common. Mental health injuries are probably just as prominent as actual physical injuries in our industry. That was a tongue twister. We just don't talk about it as much. We don't want to be seen that way as much. In that conversation that I had with a good friend of mine down in Nashville, I was thinking, well, why don't we talk about this in a way that where if you take care of yourself, whether that's through therapy or whatever, you're more productive. Like it actually is better for your business if you talk to somebody, if you make sure that your mental health is in check. You go get your physical all the time. You go to physical health check, you get your blood checked, all this stuff to make sure we're in good health so that we're productive. We should really be focusing on doing that with our mental health as well. That way, we're highly productive for our businesses. If more businesses can adapt to that mindset of, hey, we understand there might not be nothing wrong. You don't got to single somebody out. You don't have to do any of that stuff. But hey, part of it is we want you to talk to somebody. It's just part of what we do here. I promise you these companies that are doing that are being way more productive. They're getting better employee retention and it's a safer place to work. It just is in general. We need to be doing that more. That's my second observation. I say that as a business owner, right? With, 4 employees most of the time. Sometimes we're up or down from that. And then I see companies like Ajax where there's 100 employees, right? Or at Sargent where there's, hundreds of employees, where it's important all the way through. The thing is, the people in leadership roles are feeling some pressure And the people that aren't in leadership roles are also at home feeling some pressure. For me, I suffered with it a lot this year. I noticed looking back at the Blacktop Banter content, a lot of it was geared towards my curiosity about mental health and what's all going on. And that's because I was struggling with that myself, which hit kind of a crest in July. So I think, and from there, I actually got on the app BetterHelp and started talking to a therapist there. And it really did help me unwind, help take some of the pressure off the summer months, realized that it wasn't abnormal and that this guy talks to a lot of business owners that do this same type of thing. And it's just like a production card in your business. If you put on the whiteboard, hey, we do this, and this today to get this end result. Literally, that's what we did with the things in my mind. Hey, Marvin, focus on this, and this. You don't need to change the oil today, but the bearing needs changed. Otherwise, the wheel's going to fall off, right? Those are the types of things we did in that order, and then did maintenance, ironically, on the other stuff. So there is a process to it. I really would implore you, if you're having thoughts about that, or even if you just feel like you're in a tight spot and you're like, man, I just can't figure this out. I feel like I'm in a fog somewhat. It's worth talking to somebody and figuring out. BetterHelp is a great app for that. We're not being paid by them or anything at this point. That's just what I used, and it helped. So I'm telling you from a personal experience. And a lot of people have said that. They've said that from the early part of 2024 when they seen me to now, they can see a vast improvement. That's because I'm feeling a lot less pressure. I'm a lot more organized, and some of the hard things in life that I was really worried about, I stopped worrying so much about and stopped taking so serious because they were put into perspective. I think we can do that. I think to bring it all together and kind of round out this podcast episode, I think we have the support system within our community. We've built it ourselves through social media, connecting with people, going to events, networking. I'm using air quotes underneath the table with my fingers for that because I don't really like network. I don't like saying networking very much anymore. It makes me feel like I'm creating a network for my advantage later on. When you build friendships, you don't really look at the advantage. You just get the advantages of being a friend. And I feel like that's what we do. We did it big time at Pavex last year. I'm really excited for that, to come back again to Chattanooga. I will see you there. World of Asphalt, I'm going to be there this year in St. Louis. Very excited about that. So if you don't make it to Pavex, please make it to World of Asphalt and stop me and say, hey, I'll be speaking, I believe, at World of Asphalt. So I'm excited about that. We're not going to push so hard with a big booth and make the elaborate thing again. I want to get woven back into my industry, my community. I don't want to show so much as we did. I want to speak for us as much. I want to be there, be present, and make us all feel like home, like it did before, and like it has, like I did before, and like it has now for us all. So I'm going to leave that up to the people that coordinate those things, right? Amy and Jessica at Pavex do a fantastic job. Their team is going to do an amazing job there. They work with some of the greatest companies in the world through, in my mind, in the asphalt industry, through sponsorship, through partnerships and collaborations. I like to think the Blacktop Banter is one of those companies as well. And same thing at World of Asphalt, same thing. Great companies, great people there, great networking opportunities, great time to meet people that you might not meet at some other things. And Dirt World Summit was the same thing. Definitely outside of the asphalt industry. We represented a small piece there, the asphalt industry did. But it made for great new conversations and meeting new people in different spots. So in their business, not only different spots in the world, but different spots in their business and in life. So, I think as I look forward to 2025, as we round out 2024, for the most part, we start our expo season and our conference season, which I'm very excited for. Those are the big things. Those are the big things I've seen and took from us. I think the old staples are true, There's fundamentals within your business that ring true. Stephen Brainey is one of the best in the business, in my mind, of if I'm looking at my business and need a diagnosis of where it's wrong, he knows where to point and look and find out what's wrong with it. Where we're not able to do that so much is the things that are coming along new. And you learn those things by being around people at the forefront of your industry. And where are those people? More than likely at the conferences or on social media, right? Or both. So do yourself a favor, get out, register for some stuff, register for some classes, register your people for some classes. If you can take some of your people, take them, give them a home too within the asphalt industry and asphalt maintenance industry. But take some time for yourself too. Don't feel obligated to take things so seriously that you feel like you just have to produce X amount, on the black line, in the black, not in the red, on the P&L. There's a P&L also, like for your personal life. So take that into account as well. I think that's it, man, when it comes to it. That would be my piece of advice. I know I usually ask the guests for a piece of advice, but yeah, that's it. Be sure to check us out at blacktopbanter.com. You can go there and see all we offer in the drop-down menu as well. Like I said, you'll catch me this winter at the conferences. You can always check us out on social media, anywhere you type in at Blacktop Banter. You can find me personally at Marvin Joles on most things. LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, whatever. You can always just DM me or whatever, and I'll get you my number. You can call me or text me or anything like that. Excited. We had snow yesterday here in Wisconsin. I'm not excited about that, but it means that the end of the season is here. We did our last patch job today. So I'm all conference season, all Blacktop Banter, all hanging out with the community. I'm very excited to see you all this off season coming up. Be sure to check out our podcast episodes the rest of the year. Here is December as we close things out, as we speak with some great partners. And I think I'm going to do a Christmas closing episode. And yeah, that'll be it. So as always, thanks again for listening or watching to Blacktop Banter, where we speak asphalt. Peace. Hey everybody, Marvin here from Blacktop Banter. And if you enjoy the podcast and what we've been bringing to the industry, you can support us through a one-time or recurring donation at blacktopbanter.com. There we have a support tab. You click that and choose your path from there. If you listen on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, please do us a favor and leave a review there for us as well. As always, we speak asphalt, and thanks for your support.